I never thought I'd be excited about laundry. Not doing laundry, mind you, but I'm really excited about liberating people from the tyranny of laundry. Earlier this year, I developed a laundry workshop to help moms customize their own systems and dig out from under all those piles for good. And I decided to try something new today. I'm bringing the entire workshop to the podcast. If you want to really take it seriously and create a new system, overhaul your existing system, or even just fine-tune it, you can download a pretty workbook that goes along with this episode for just $5 at howshemoms.com. There's a workshop link right on the homepage where you can buy it, print it, and follow along. The link is also in my show notes. Of course, you can also listen and download the workbook later, or just take your own notes, or whatever you want to do. But this workshop isn't just about laundry. It will also serve as kind of a blueprint for how I create all the systems in my house. I think creating a laundry system is the best way to learn how to create any other system in your house. It's like a little microcosm of home management. In true How She Moms fashion, I'm not just going to tell you how to do your laundry. We'll hear from several different moms, including myself, about our very different laundry systems. By the end, you should have a customized system of your own, or at least some new tweaks to your current system, all fresh and ready to put on. This is the How She Moms podcast with Whitney Archibald. I'm a mother of 5 on a mission to help moms connect with your kids, manage your homes, and create your own unique version of motherhood. I curate ideas from different moms so you can pick and choose what works for you and your family. Of all the household systems, laundry is one of the most self-contained, straightforward systems around. You wash, you dry, you put it away. And yet, as straightforward as it is, there's a surprising amount of creativity happening in the laundry world, and even a bit of controversy. So let's dig right in. I like to start all my workshops with a self-evaluation. What do you struggle with, and what do you actually enjoy about laundry? And yes, I bet you can think of at least one thing you enjoy. If you're using the workbook, go ahead and take some time to write down some of your joys and struggles in the designated spaces. Maybe you're like my poetic sister-in-law, Meg Singley, who said her biggest struggle is getting the laundry put away before it's scattered all over the living room like fall leaves. Maybe it's leaving wet clothes in the washing machine so long you have to wash it all over again. Maybe your kids keep putting clean clothes in their hampers. Maybe they're super sloppy eaters and keep ruining their best clothes. What overwhelms you about laundry? As for joys, maybe you love the smell of fresh laundry or the feel of freshly washed sheets. Maybe you like how your baby is mesmerized by watching the clothes spin around. Maybe you like watching TV while you fold clean laundry. Maybe you like teaching your toddler to sort by color, or you like shooting baskets with balled-up t-shirts. Get creative here and force yourself to think of at least 1 or 2 things you enjoy. But if you're having trouble thinking of something good about laundry, here's some perspective from my 90-year-old grandma, Donna Dayton.
It was a hard day. All these diapers and all that stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
What we'd do, we'd put them through and get all of the piddle out of it, and then put them in the soapy water. And
so you'd kind of rinse them first, and then
we rinse. Yeah,
it
was a rinse job first.
Okay.
And then you'd put it back in, and then it would drain down into the floor.
And then you'd wring them and like put them in a basket and take them out
in
to
a
the line.
basket and take them upstairs and hang them on the clothesline. And that was, there was nothing that smelled better than nice, fresh clothes. When we bring them in, they smelled so good. And when I was a child, my mother, it was an all-day thing for Mom. She had to heat the water on the stove. I remember coming home from school and thinking, oh, there's the dishes, and I've got to do those. She's still doing the washing. It was a hard, but it was, and a lot of times we would, in the winter times, they would dry the clothes on the stove in the front room. But it was a hard day, but was it a delight when we got the automatic washer.
Can you even imagine? I'm so glad that none of our systems involve that kind of work. Anyway, as we create our systems, the goal is to solve or at least minimize the struggles and preserve the joys. For example, I hate sorting, so my main goal was to figure out a system that has pretty much eliminated sorting at any stage along the way. So let's get on with lesson 1. When I create or recreate a system, I start with strategy, figuring out exactly what we're trying to accomplish. Maybe it sounds crazy to create a strategy for something like laundry, but you probably already have a laundry strategy. There are surprising numbers of different ways to approach laundry, and often they're at odds with one another. For example, Adrienne Mortenson's main objective is to keep clothes looking new, which looks great, saves money, and allows her children to pass their clothes down to each other. She runs clothes in the dryer for just 5 to 10 minutes and then hangs everything up to finish drying. This is all great for me because for years Adrienne handed down her clothes to me and they still looked brand new. On the other hand, my main objectives are to save time and to teach my children to do their own laundry. My system, which I'll explain later, takes most of the laundry work out of my hands, but, at least at first, may result in some shrinkage and pinkage. Also, a really messy laundry room most of the time. Lisa Holzer took a totally different strategy.
Well, I would say the term that sums up the strategy is prevention. The more you can prevent spills, messes, dirty clothes, the less laundry you have to do. And I always just kind of had an eye for efficiency and almost kind of an obsession sometimes of trying to make things as efficient as possible. And so I could see if we could not spill or not get things dirty, then we could not spend time cleaning. And I didn't love the cleaning anyway, so might as well. So as they would eat, eating is obviously one of the biggest things that gets kids' clothes dirty. So when they're eating, I would sit right by them always, not like walk away, and be next to them and sometimes I felt like I fed the baby longer, like beyond when they could actually maybe feed themselves because I didn't like the mess. And so no, just let me do it. And then stay there and just kind of monitor. And I tried not to be like mean or harsh, but I would be like, we don't use our hands. So then at the end of the day, when you take their clothes off, some people, I think, just are like, well, the clothes were worn and so they need to be washed. But I felt like if they were clean, then they could be reused. And part of that was an environmental thing too. I was like, the less we wash, the less water and soap we use. And so I would look at them, and if they were clean, put them back, hang them up or put them in the drawer. And then if they were dirty, put them in the laundry. And so I had 4 kids, and I really probably have done 3 loads of laundry a week for the majority of my motherhood, kind of a whites and a darks, and then a towels or extra stuff thrown in.
In the workbook, I have a list of 11 possible objectives. If you're following along, put a star by the objectives that are priorities for you right now. If you don't care about it at all, cross it out. And if you think you might pursue an objective in the future but aren't quite ready, put an F by it. This is not an exhaustive list, so there's space to add other objectives. Here's the list. 1, have clean clothes to wear. 2, wash clothes as infrequently as possible. 3, get laundry done as quickly as possible. 4, get laundry done as efficiently as possible. 5, keep clothes looking new. 6, keep clothes clean enough to pass down to siblings. 7, rewear clothes as many times as possible before washing. 8, get all the laundry done at once. 9, teach children how to do their own laundry. 10, put clean laundry away more quickly. And 11, get rid of laundry piles. I'm sure you can think of some more. Now, go through your START objectives and figure out which 3 are your top priorities. There's no right answer here. Just figure out what's important to you. We'll refer back to these top 3 priorities as we get into the tactics and logistics of your system so that you can make sure you're creating a system that takes care of what you actually care about. Now we get to talk tactics, your basic approach to laundry. This is where some of the hot laundry controversy comes in, so hold on to your hampers. Let's start with the amount of clothes each person has, your clothing inventory. This may not seem relevant, but it directly affects your laundry and your priorities. If you want to wash clothes less frequently, like every 2 weeks, for example, each person will need at least 14 pairs of underwear. Or maybe the opposite's true. You don't want to be overwhelmed by a mountain of laundry, so you need to pare down everybody's wardrobe to what they need for a week. In the workbook, I have a clothing inventory list where you can estimate how many items of each type of clothing you'd like to have for each kid, from pants to swimming suits to bathrobes. I use this twice a year as I rotate seasonal wardrobes to see what we need to buy or what we need to donate. I also use it in between whenever somebody's wardrobe gets out of control or I can't walk through the clothes scattered on their bedroom floor. I usually involve the kids in this. I lay out all their t-shirts and say something like, "Your shirt drawer is overflowing. Can you pick the 7 short-sleeved shirts you like the most?" And then we donate the rest. I'm not here to tell you what your number should be, but it's a good exercise to think about what you think you need and then look at what you actually have and what actually fits in your closet and what your kids can handle. I'm pretty conservative about inventory because too much stuff makes me crazy. This is also a good excuse to purge your closets and get rid of clothes you don't wear or don't like. That's another project for another workshop, but in the meantime, Marie Kondo would love to help you with that. So now it's time for the first big controversy. There are 2 main camps when it comes to laundry frequency, and the moms we talked to were surprisingly passionate about their positions on this one. To oversimplify, you're either a load-a-day family or a laundry day family, and it seems to be a pretty even split. Those who do a load a day don't like the enormity of tackling all the laundry in one fell swoop. This is how Julie feels, and she's come up with a great system that results in having all of her laundry done every day. It's amazing.
I used to do laundry once a week, and it got to the point where I would have this huge pile of laundry on my bed at the end of every day. I could never get to it. I was feeling so overwhelmed. I was doing like 8 loads a day, and I just hated my life. And as the years have evolved, I have evolved to once a day. So what I will do is, so in each of my kids' rooms, they have a laundry hamper, and I will take a laundry basket into each of their rooms, and their job is to sort through all of their clothes. So they will dump it all out, and they even will spot check them. So they will empty out their pockets, they'll get their socks inside out, all their shirts, all their stuff. They sort it, they get it ready to go. They put it in the basket, and I will collect that in each room. And then I go in and I start a load of laundry. Yeah, I just do it as part of my daily routine. So I will look at what jobs I have to do for the day, and I usually like to get a load of laundry going while I'm doing something else. So I'll go do all the gathering, put the load in. One little tip that I do now that I discovered is I use they're called color grabbers that you can get in the laundry section, and I throw in a sheet of the color grabber in with whites and darks. So usually I'll only do 1 load a day with that in there, because then I'm not worried about the colors. Throw them all in. When it gets done 40 minutes later, I'll stop whatever I'm doing, run back. I fold the laundry as it comes out. Takes me 10 minutes tops. And then I will just go put the clothes on the dresser and I am done. So it's become really efficient for me, where I incorporate it with my daily routine and my jobs, but I like to be doing something else while that's going. And then it's just done. And I like having that completed every day and not hanging over my head that I have loads and loads to do. But I will say on the weekends, that's kind of more of a day of, hey, strip your beds, kids, let's wash your sheets, if you have towels to wash. So the laundry is kind of, the washer is available on the weekends if they want to do those kind of things, and I usually will encourage that. But yeah, then they'll wash their sheets, their towels, that kind of thing. Or we'll just combine them all and wash. So yeah, and it works really well.
My sister-in-law, Ashley, agrees with Julie. She says, when I do a load a day, I find the task to be less daunting, and I actually get the clothes put away the same day. The days I let the laundry go until it builds into a heap is when I feel overwhelmed and stagger putting it all away. Marla Silly, whom you may know as the Fly Lady, is one of the more prominent load-a-day people. She likes building laundry into a daily routine, so it never gets too overwhelming, building up into what she calls Mount Washmore. It's easy to get through all the steps of one load, including putting the clothes away, in one day. On the other hand, once-a-weekers think dragging it out all week sounds like a nightmare. These moms typically set aside a specific day of the week, sort all the laundry in the morning or the night before, and keep the machines running steadily until it's done. And then it's done for a whole week. Many of these laundry day families fudge it a little, doing all the clothes in one day and then linens and towels on another, but it's still mostly in one day. Here's Stacy Cowan explaining how she does her laundry all in one day.
I like to have just one laundry day, get it over with, do all the clothes in one day and be finished so that I don't have to worry about it on other days of the week. I do laundry on Mondays. I have everybody bring their laundry down and it comes into my bathroom, and then I sort it into the different piles. I have a whites pile, a lights, a darks, colors, and then I do jeans. And so I do all the clothes at once. So if you come into my bathroom on Monday, it kind of looks like a bomb exploded because it's all out. And then I do one load at a time, and I'm very task-oriented, very concrete sequential. So I do them always in the same order so I know where I'm at in my laundry. So I start with the whites and then flip those and try to keep a load going all day long so that by the end of the day I've done my 5 or 6 loads and I'm finished. Or I hate folding things, so I hang everything except for underwear, jammies, and socks. So underwear, jammies, and socks go in a basket, and then each kid has their own color of hanger. And so I hang things as they come out, and they're all organized. So my husband's on the far right, then it's me, then it's my sons, and they each have their own color. So I hang everything, and then Monday night, lately it's been more like Tuesday. Sometimes it trickles into Wednesday. Then the boys, it's their job to come to sort what's in the basket. They sort the jammies into each person's pile, and then they fold all the socks. They lay the underwear out. My older son has to fold his own jammies, and then I fold the little boys, and then they take those and put those in their drawer. Then they have to take their laundry from the laundry room to their closets.
Two of my home management heroes are also on this once-a-week side. Kendra Adachi, better known as the Lazy Genius, and Dana White, who wrote one of my favorite books about home management, How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind. Each of them have podcast episodes on their laundry routines, so I will link those if you want more information about either of theirs. Dana White says, "Since I do all of our laundry in one day, it's no longer a task that never feels finished. It does get finished and stays finished until the next Monday. I can't even express how happy this makes me. In a strange way, it actually makes me like laundry day." Ashley Brown adds a unique twist to a weekly laundry routine, spreading the workload over 3 days.
So I have a 3-day laundry routine, and like you said, I had went through a bunch of laundry routines and none of them worked for me. I was just like, I cannot keep up with some of this stuff. And so at a certain point I was like, well, just try it this way. So what I do is on the first day, and I do this weekly. So on the first day, I will wash all of our clothes. And I want to preface this by saying that we don't have a lot of clothes that we need to wash around here. So it's not like I'm doing 6 or 7 loads of laundry. I'm not doing that many. I probably have about 3 to 4. And so I'll wash all of our clothes on day 1 and of course dry them as well. And then on day 2, I will fold. I will commit to, okay, I'm going to fold all of the clothes on day 2. And then on day 3, I put them away. And so this has really helped me because I used to be really bad about 1, folding, but 2, also putting them away. It would take me like weeks to put them away. And I'm like, what is the point? Like, so this has, I just put a load in this morning. I'm washing all of the clothes today, but yeah, so this has been really helpful for me staying caught up with laundry because that's one of the things that will really annoy you if you're just like, it just keeps getting behind.
Ashley is the host of the Routine and Things podcast and has lots of great ideas about home management systems. Still, other families, like mine, just do laundry as needed, especially when kids are in charge of their own. Although this may seem haphazard, it works for some people, especially smaller families, and we're all there from time to time. I like this quote from a listener named Aubrey. "My older 2, 14 and 11, have been doing their own laundry for about 3 years now. They do theirs on an as-needed basis, which means when they run out of clothes and are standing in the laundry room in their underwear doing their laundry." So take a minute to figure out where you fit on one side or the other of this debate, or if you're somewhere in the middle. You may know instinctively what timing best fits your own personality or your schedule. If not, why not try a couple of weeks of each approach to figure out which is more realistic for you and your family? You might actually be surprised. The next big decision to make is who is going to do the laundry. In my family, the answer is everyone. We all have our own hampers in our rooms, even those of us who share rooms. The only communal bin is on a shelf by the basement stairs for things like kitchen rags and the random socks that get left around on the main floor. I just add this bin to my own laundry each week. My husband and I and the kids each do our own laundry with varying degrees of help from me based on age. For example, my 5-year-old helps me do his. I help my 8-year-old by reminding her to do it, supervising stain removal, and reminding her to transfer from washer to dryer, etc. My 10-year-old does it himself with reminders from me. And my teenagers are totally on their own. The best thing about this system is that there's virtually no sorting except for the one communal bin. Everything else stays sorted by person the whole time. My husband and I separate whites and colors into 2 loads each, but the kids just keep everything in one load. With color-fast clothes these days, we rarely have problems. I've tried assigning everyone their own consistent laundry day each day of the week, but it always ends up with us just each doing our own as needed. When that time comes, each of us just carries our hamper down to the laundry room in the basement and processes it through. I try to keep empty baskets down there so they don't put each other's clean clothes on the floor, but let's be honest, I'm not always great at this. When the clothes are clean, the kids put them away in their drawers. They decide whether to fold them or not, and it's mostly not, but it doesn't bother me or them, so we just roll with it. And to remind my kids how to do laundry, I have an instruction sheet posted in the laundry room with all the steps written out. Other moms want a little more quality control or a little less mess and find it more efficient to do the laundry themselves, and they should feel no pressure to get the kids involved. Seriously, I know there's this fear about kids going to college and not even knowing how to do their own laundry, but guess what? You can teach them really quickly when the time comes, or they can Google it and figure it out pretty quickly on their own. Remember, my 8-year-old can do laundry. Lisa Holzer and I talked about this in our laundry conversation.
Yeah, I never really had my kids help with the laundry very much. They helped in a lot of other chores, but I kind of like doing laundry. And I didn't have so much that I was overwhelmed, And so the one thing I made them do is, as they took their clothes off in the evening, whenever they could, like by 3 or 4 or whatever, put them up on the chest of drawers, because the leaning over to get the clothes is just kind of hard. And one more thing, and especially as you're pregnant with further kids. And so their responsibility was to put them on the chest of drawers. And then I would either put them away or put them in the laundry. And then on laundry day, I would go gather up the hampers and compile them and sort and do all of it. I really like to fold clothes too. So I fold them and put them away for the most part in their drawers. Now, once they got like teenagers, I just put them on their bed and they put them away. But
Yeah.
so I didn't have a lot of kid participation.
You can also assign different family members specific parts of the job, like Stacy Cowan, who we heard from earlier. Each family member has an age-appropriate role, and it runs really smoothly. Sorting by color can be a great activity for a preschooler. The workbook has a space for you to divvy up laundry responsibilities among family members. Which members of your family do you want to involve in your laundry process? What are your kids capable of? What would you like to teach them? And what parts could you totally hand over to somebody else? For me, that's ironing. The day we started sending my husband's dress shirts to the cleaners was a day of liberation. Neither of us had time for that. We have arrived at Lesson 3, Laundry Logistics. The first exciting topic we're going to talk about is hamper placement. Most moms I talk to keep laundry hampers in each bedroom or bedroom closet, sometimes more than one hamper if kids share a room. For the master bedroom, my sister-in-law Ashley Archibald uses a basket with 2 sides, one for whites and light colors and one for darks. You can buy these pre-made or make them. The internet abounds with tutorials for laundry sorting baskets made of PVC pipes, for example. Meg Singley keeps a hamper in the kids' bathroom as well. And as I mentioned before, I keep a hamper on a shelf by the basement stairs for miscellaneous laundry. Most families also keep at least one hamper in their laundry room. Laura Nielsen keeps 2 hampers in her laundry room, one for towels and rags and one for school uniforms. Meg keeps a bunch of hampers organized and labeled by color in her laundry room so the kids can sort their own laundry into them. When the hampers get full, she washes a load. The next decision to make is how you sort dirty laundry or not. Most moms I talked to sort the whole family's clothes together by color, usually washing whites, colors, darks, and towels in separate loads. Some do a separate load for all jeans. Stacy Cowan does a separate load for workout clothes. Lisa Woodruff, founder of the company Organize 365 and host of the podcast by the same name, sorts by weight. Not that she's actually using a scale, but she does towels together, jeans together, shirts together, etc. because she likes to group them by items that need the same amount of drying time. Pretty good idea. And as I said earlier, some moms like me think it's worth a little dip in quality to save the time and hassle of sorting, although I know the thought of this makes other moms shiver. So you do you. The next step, of course, is washing and drying. Thanks to our fabulous modern machines, there isn't much variation in how families actually wash and dry their clothes. Some treat stains right as they happen, others treat them while sorting or on the way to the washing machine. The best tip I got is to keep a toothbrush by the washing machine to help scrub stains. Several moms I talked to wash most clothes on a cold cycle to prevent shrinkage, color bleeding, or setting mist stains. Some families use drying racks for delicates, others just drape them over their baskets or ironing boards, hang them on hangers, or lay them out on towels or in the dryer. Probably the hardest part about washing and drying is actually remembering to switch loads. Some moms set a timer on their phones instead of just relying on being within range of the machine's buzzers. Lindsay, who runs PassionateHomemaking.com, just sets her phone timer to go off every hour on her laundry day. Others, like Sarah, founder of EarlyBirdMom.com, connect switching loads with specific parts of her existing routine. She puts a load in the morning, switches it into the dryer at her kids' quiet time, and then folds it after they go to bed. Now for the hardest part, getting those clean clothes folded and put away. It's just so easy to leave them in the basket for days. This is one of Fly Lady's big platforms. The laundry is only done when it's folded and put away. If you have trouble with this, she suggests not even letting yourself start another load until you've put the previous load away, and not just in the right room. Obviously, load-a-day families will just put it away as it comes out of the dryer, or at least they will intend to. But other moms want to save it all for the end and treat themselves to a favorite show or a movie while they sort and fold. Lindsay takes this a step further and makes it a family affair. She washes everything on Mondays, and the whole family sorts the big mound of laundry at the end of the day while enjoying a movie together. As I mentioned, I don't sort the clean laundry at all. Everyone just takes their clothes directly from the dryer back into their hamper and brings it to their rooms to put away. So they're already sorted by person. Finally, there's the last step, putting it away. This is also the last controversy. There's a pretty even 3-way split about how to put the majority of clothes away, hanging, folding, and neither. Those who hang most of their clothes do it to keep them less wrinkled and accessible, or sometimes just because they have more rod space than drawer space. As we heard earlier, Stacy and Adrian both hang them right out of the dryer. My sister Cassie Gadd uses Marie Kondo's folding method, folding them upright in the drawer. She especially likes that our kids can see what their options are right when they open the drawer. And then there are those like me who don't fold, at least not kids' clothes. I figure they're just going to get messed up the next day anyway. I do hang up their nice clothes. This is also the reason that a lot of moms put the kids' clothes away themselves so that they can stay folded and put away nicely. Others make that their kids' responsibility. My friend Jennifer Anderson brings all the laundry to the living room and has the kids sort it into piles, and then they put their own piles away. She has 7 children, so one of the things that makes it easier for them to sort is that each of her children has their own color of socks and underwear. However you do it, the key is just to get it done, so all the clean clothes don't end up mixed with dirty clothes and go around and around again before ever seeing a hanger or the inside of a drawer. I like Dawn's solution, the founder of IThinkWeCanBeFriends.com. She solved the problem with her no excuses rule. All clean laundry goes on the owner's beds, and it must be put away before they go to bed. No excuses. As for ironing, wrinkle-free shirts for the win. Some families take collared shirts to the dry cleaners, some use a steamer, and some still iron or at least have an ironing pile. In fact, Aubrey actually enjoys ironing. And Molly often sprays her kids' clothes with Downy spray for a quick touch-up before they go off to school. Okay, now it's time for you to get to work. Go back to your priorities from Lesson 1, reevaluate if necessary now that you've listened to the workshop, and build your own system using the ideas that you think will work best for you and that will best meet your objectives. In the workbook, I have a sheet that you can fill out to identify what you do daily, what you do weekly with a spot for each day of the week, and what you do monthly, things like cleaning the laundry room or replenishing supplies. As you create your system, try to resolve the struggles you identified at the beginning of the workshops and to preserve the joys. Then experiment. Try your new plan and tweak it until it works for you, and you can just repeat it week after week without having to think too much about it. You've got this. Thank you for listening to the How She Moms podcast. If you like it, tell a friend. The bigger the community, the more ideas. There are lots of ways you can add your ideas to the How She Moms community. We have a Facebook group where we share ideas about upcoming topics and help each other solve problems we're facing in motherhood. You can also follow How She Moms on Instagram for quick tips and ideas. And you can go to howshemoms.com where you'll find transcripts of episodes and lots of other great resources. Special thanks to my mom, Susan Singley, for recording my theme music. She played this song all the time when I was growing up, and to me, it's the soundtrack of motherhood.